Alright, so my camera support thing is broke. So I'm hoping that my camera does not fall down in the middle of this. I've got it kind of propped up, and I am making, I'm going to call it Mocha Choka Latte. And the story behind that is I used to love mocha lattes from Dairy Queen. And my husband always used to make fun of me, and he would always come up with these like weird names for them. And one of them was Mocha Choka Latte. So that's why I'm naming it this. And the fragrance oil we use is going to discolor, so we're not going to need a lot of colorants. I kind of want it to look like, almost like hot chocolate is what I'm thinking. And it is super hot today. I questioned whether or not I should even make soap, just because it's so hot out, and sometimes it behaves badly on those days, at least for me. So we've got our oils and our lye water solution mixed up here to get our batter. And I'm going to be doing some piping, so I want to pour off the amount that I want for the piping. It doesn't really seem like much. Don't want to end up with too much either. Enough to fill a piping bag at least. Okay. So for this, we're going to do the fragrance oil, and we're also going to put some jojoba beads in it. I don't know if anyone's ever tried the mocha lattes or not, but they have like little specks in them. And the last soap that I did, I worried about like exactly how much jojoba beads, and it ended up being like I only used half of what the suggested was. So I know I'm not going to get too many. I'm just hoping that we'll still be able to see some of it after this discolors, because it goes pretty brown. I just don't remember exactly how brown. Okay, I'd say that's good. So, put these off to the side. And clean off my spoon so I don't have little tiny beads everywhere. So now it's time for the fragrance oil. And the one thing I do remember about this one is it accelerates. Got real, not like beyond being able to work with. It has a lot of vanillin in it. So we'll get our mold here. And I do want to put some fragrance oil in that as well. So majority is going to go in to the soap. So I just want to make sure that this is mixed up. I think the last time I did put some brown in the batter. It's already turning like a yellow. I don't know if you guys can not really see that on camera, but it went from the white cream that the base is normally to this yellow like instantly. But the good thing is it will darken over time. When it's done curing, it will be hopefully a dark brown. All right, so, and I don't like stick blending fragrances. It just it has never gone well in my experience anyway. And this doesn't have to be, like, there's really no special design on the inside. It's all going to be the same color. So I just want to take my time and make sure that it's mixed properly. Don't have to rush myself because I'm not worrying about designs or... So I'm just going to go ahead and pour this right in. And it looks like I got a decent amount for the piping, which is good. I have to pull a little off to the side on that one. I need just a small amount for something else. But that is one thing about cold process. Like, it's not like melt and pour where, you know, if you it turns out you didn't make enough, you can always just pop some more in the microwave and, you know, heat some more up. It's definitely not like that. Like, my prep work before I get to this point for a loaf is normally around an hour of getting the batter ready. And before this sets too much, I just want to get it a little bit more even. And as always, I'm going to take more time than probably needed to get the rest of this out. Waste not, want not. I'm not even sure where that saying came from. If anybody knows, leave me a comment on where that phrase came from. All right, so this is in the mold. Let's get this cleaned up a little bit. And you're not going to be able to see this top once the piping's on, but it's nice to have a nice even surface to work with. And it's habit. Get some off the sides. So I'm hoping that once I put this fragrance oil in for the piping, that it will help it set up a good bit. Plus I'm going to be putting titanium dioxide in it because I don't want it to turn the brown that the fragrance oil is going to make it. So where's my handy dandy measuring? And this, I think I am going to stick blend because I want it to be thick. And I also want that titanium dioxide to get all the way mixed in. I forgot to pull some off. I even was sitting here thinking about it and still didn't do it. It's a good thing is that I don't really have it mixed in yet. I have to attach some embeds, so I need like soap glue, basically, is what I'm after. I don't think I'll need a ton, so we're going to leave it at that because I don't want to take too much from my piping. Alright, so let's get this bad boy mixed up. Doesn't sound very happy there. And just to be safe, I'm going to put a little bit more in. Even if it turns out like a light brown, that'd be alright too. I would like it to be white, but All right, so my piping is set up, so we're gonna get ready to start piping. Took my gloves off so I could go do other stuff while this piping was setting, and realized I'm out of gloves. So I don't like to deal with like raw soap without gloves on, but I mean, it's not the end of the world. I'm not going to get like horribly burnt or anything, but it does tend to sting like if you get it in cuts and things like that. So plus I always like to wear gloves when I'm making soap. So I just washed my hands really good, and we're going to start piping. So I'm going to try to do 3 rows. We'll see. This is how much piping I have, and we'll see how it goes. So I've not used this tip before. I kind of want it to look like little dollops, so to speak. It kind of seems like it's a little runny, actually. Let's do better. But I'm trying to get relatively the same size. Each row going this way. So that when I cut my bars, they're close to the same weight. Just makes it easier on me. Okay, so before I go any further, because I want some of this to show up when we cut the bar, instead of just on the top. So I've mixed some gold mica with some oil. Hopefully it's not too thick. I can't, there we go. And I'm just gonna drizzle this, maybe. I think it is a little, either that or I'm gonna have to get a different pipette. Let's get rid of this guy before I make a mess. I don't have to do a ton right off the bat. There we go. Just want some to show through on each layer, hopefully. And the oil will absorb into the soap, and the mica will be left behind, and it'll leave you this pretty design. Hopefully, that's the plan. That's what I was worried about. And I'm flinging it everywhere. Just when I think that like I can't get any messier, I have a day like today. All right, so we're gonna put another dollop between those two. Try to get some of this squished down without squeezing it all over the place. Chopsticks are very useful for so many other things other than eating food. probably could have even done, we're going to do a little bit bigger on some of these. There we go. All right, and then oh, I almost forgot my drizzle. Hoping it kind of looks like caramel is what I'm after. You know how they drizzle the caramel on top of your drinks. And this is a much more calorie efficient way to get your sweets in. You can smell like it instead of eating it. And we'll probably go back down with this when we get all the way done, just because I want to make sure that there's enough on it for effect. I've used a thinner oil in the past, and it didn't seem to get what I was after, so I thought I'd try thicker oil. I don't know if it's the oil or my pipette. These ones were on sale, and now I know why. Looks like some of my piping down below kind of got mushed from the layers up top, but like I said, it was still kind of a little bit softer. Make sure I'm not getting that in my soap. I'm going to try to put you guys this way and see. I can't zoom me in. I'm sorry. Oh, we got an air bubble. So not often do I plan something where it's just about perfect, but I think we succeeded today. After I wipe the soap off my hand. And we're just going to drizzle this over the top and get any little bits that we missed. And then we have one more thing to put on before we are all the way done. Yeah, I was worried we were going to run out of piping, but we actually had just a little bit left, which to me is perfect. I could have made probably a couple of these dollops or whatever you want to call this style of piping. I could have made probably some of them a little bit bigger in hindsight, but yeah, we're going to put a little bit on for the sample bars because I have extra. And I hope you guys feel the same way about sample bars that I do. I think they're important. With buying soap, you know, some of you buy soap from me from clear across the country, and it is hard to, even with the descriptions that I give, even though I try to be fairly accurate and go by what I think they smell like, what the description of the manufacturer says, it's still hard, I think, to buy something like this without having an idea of what it smells like. So sample bars go in the orders. You know, give you a sample of something that you haven't bought. And I think we're just about done with this. Maybe. Okay. So, got our mica drizzle on. Now the only thing left to do is put the straws in. Since this is a drink soap, kind of like the strawberry and mint lemonade that we did not that long ago. And I think I'm going to put them in on this side. Ooh, did you see my piping shake there? That wasn't good. Well, it could have been bad. So these are just going to go right in here. Whenever you cut these, it like pinches, it always pinches one end and kind of makes it. I try to put that in. Oh, you guys, this is looking good. Definitely need to work on that with that piping tip a little bit more. You wouldn't think it would be that hard to get, you know, even dollops, but it seems like I'm much better with some of the other piping tips, but I haven't used this one, so I've had it for a while. And I've been kind of saving it for something like this just because I think it looks best. Kind of makes me think of like the whipped cream or the marshmallows. And I'm one straw short. I'm breaking all sorts of soap and rules today. I don't have long sleeves on. I don't have gloves on. Took my safety glasses off. Not that there's like, you know, set regulations that you have to do this or you have to do that, but it's just makes logical sense to not burn your eyeballs out or end up with burns. Because the lye, once you put it in the soap, I mean, it's still, like I said, it makes your skin kind of tingle, and if you have a cut, it burns, but it's not like getting straight lye water or straight lye on your skin. That's a whole different ballgame there. The first time I ever made soap, I was so nervous, and I, you know, double checked and got all my safety equipment, and, you know, I had long sleeves and this, that, and the other, and I get all the way done making soap for the first time, ecstatic, and took my gloves and everything off and went like this, didn't even think about it, and I ended up with a lye burn. It wasn't anything bad, but it was enough to make sure that I never did it again. So I'm going to spritz this, and I'm not going to be able to cover it up right away because I have to let it sit before I can mess with the top, but bring you guys in here. So I'm going to let this sit for 48 hours, and I will bring you guys back in the video for the cut. So this is the Mocha Choka Latte loaf, and even though I put titanium dioxide in the piping, it still turned brown, which is fine. I mean, it still looks good, but it would have had a lot more contrast had that stayed white. But next time I will know. Hopefully I do get to make this again. But good thing is that this did turn the darker color that we were hoping for. So I normally cut right off the end, but this is really close, so I'm going to get this bar cut first before I get too excited. Hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, so, and I know that these bars are going to be pretty big. Okay, so this is a perfect example. Do you see this? This is what the batter was when we poured it, but this is what it will turn to once it sits for a while, and it's completely normal. It's just the fragrance oil discolors. So I am sad that, you know, the piping didn't stay this white color here, but they are still really cute bars in the thick. Let's cut the rest here. We'll do one more for you guys. So this will finish discoloring all the way, and I'll put a picture at the end of the video of what it looks like once it's sat for a while. And I'm looking just the way that these are cutting. I'm probably going to have to do like small and large bars when I sell this, just because the weights are going to be so different. But the jojoba beads do look really good in there. And of course the top with the straw. All right, thanks guys.